You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Hello, everyone, and happy Monday. We are here at Conroe Culture News. I'm your host, Margie Taylor. This show is sponsored by Roger Stein Chiropractic on Highway 105 by Taco Bell and Conroe High School. Downtown Conroe, Lone Star Community Radio, FM 104.5, 106.1. We're going to have a fabulous show today, so listen up. We have Christian Collins, and he is the campaign manager for Congressman Kevin Brady. He's going to talk to us about the barbecue fundraiser, Blues and BBQ, with special guests, and he'll tell us all about it. Then tell us all about it. Then we have John Boucher, and he's going to tell us why you need to register to vote, when you need to register to vote, what does getting out the vote mean, and all about the Republican Party in Montgomery County. And then lastly, in our very last segment, we will hear from Bill Muldoon, who's going to talk to us about the Family Promise bed races that will happen in downtown Conroe on October 6th. Yes, I did say bed, and it hasn't happened, so it's going to happen. Get a bed, get a mattress, put 4 wheels on it, get a team of 5, and race it for bragging rights of the fastest bed in Montgomery County. So, if you have not seen Seven Brides for Seven Brothers over at the Owen Theater by the Players Theater Company, the last performances will happen this week, and they're having a special performance on Thursday at 8. So they'll have one Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at the Owen Theater in downtown Conroe. You can go online at owentheater.com to get your tickets, and they are selling out. So if you don't know this story, this is a musical. It's entertaining. It starts with a young man who got married. He has 7 brothers, and he's trying to find them brides. And then he gets married, and this woman is teaching the brothers how to court young ladies. And it takes place in 1850s Oregon, so it's a lot of fun. And then also there's the Savannah Sipping Society, and that started this weekend, Friday night. And that's from the Stage Right of Texas. And it implements their 2018-2019 performances season at the Crichton Theater. So it's about 4 Southern women who decide to have a little fun and adventure with a sip or two of an adult beverage. And then it goes on. So that's another humorous event. And that is also selling out. So you can get your tickets at crichtontheater.org. It's fall. I know you don't think it is, but it actually is a little cooler than it was, just a slight bit. So you can get a lot of your fall shopping decor at Mimi's on Main, Conroe Central Market, the Assistance League. Don't forget about the Assistant League, because they give out to all their nonprofits. They give to all 6 school districts in Montgomery County. They help get kids dressed for school or anytime they need it. They help with items for the elderly. They help vets. So they are right down the street on the corner of San Jacinto and Metcalf. So get involved, and they're run all by volunteers. So for whatever suits you, they have summer wear on sale right now, but go check out the fall decor, fall clothing, or Halloween is coming. I bet you can come up with a great costume down there. So what else is going on? Well, did you know we have live music every single day in downtown Conroe? Every single day. And I'm sitting here looking at John Boucher, who just sang at the last First Thursday concert at Heritage Park Thursday night. He is with Johnny and the Spinsations, and then we also had Fab Five. We had about 700 to 800 people there, which is a pretty good turnout, and that's a free concert. But he has sang at Pacific Yard House. The Red Brick Tavern starts Sundays with Gospel Sunday Brunch, and a very good food. They have a special menu on Sundays. Corner Pub has open mic Monday through Thursday nights on the corner, of course, of Main and Simonton. So you can go there tonight. Everything starts at 9 o'clock. So there's 3 venues. So come on out. There's also a tap takeover with a different brewery every Tuesday over at Red Brick Tavern. So find out all about what's going on and experience downtown Conroe.com. couple other things I want to mention is that the dispute resolution is a great place. They are celebrating 30 years of serving the community. They're across the street from the courthouse on Thompson, and they help with anything to keep you out of the courthouse, to mediate any kind of disputes, conflicts you have with your neighbors, traffic, anything like that. And they are having their annual bookmark contest for kids from kindergarten to 8th grade, whether they go to public school, private school, homeschool. They can go to their website, Dispute Resolution, and enter the bookmark art contest, and that ends September 28th. So let's roll into our first guest. We have Christian Collins. Welcome, Christian.
Thank you, Margie. Thank you for all the work that you do in the community. Really appreciate you, and I enjoy being on your program every time, and especially this time.
You've been several times.
Yeah. So
what's going on?
Yeah, I'm excited to introduce Kevin Brady's Blues and BBQ, and we're going to have Sundance Head. He's from Porter, and
Yes,
he
he
won
is.
The Voice, which is a big deal, and he traveled the country with Blake Shelton, and he's going to be our singer at the Blues and BBQ. And we also have Mattress Mac coming, which is very exciting. He's going to be introducing Kevin Brady there, and we all know the great work he's done with the Harvey relief efforts, and he's been one of the most generous Houstonians of our generation. So we're really excited to have him there. And we may have one other special guest, so stay tuned.
All of this in 2 hours?
All of this in 2 hours. So
Oh, my
why
goodness.
wouldn't you want to come? We're really excited about this event. It's Monday, September 24th from 5:30 till 7:30 at the Big Barn in Dosey Does. So great event. And on a rather side note, we have the Christian Values Summit coming up this week. And for those that registered, come. We're excited about it. We're going to have Sarah Palin and Dinesh D'Souza, among many other great speakers, Congressman Brady and Senator Cruz and Dan Patrick. They're all going to be speaking as well. It's going to be a great event.
And that's Thursday night, right?
Yes, and it's my friend, Pastor Jerry Maston, his vision to put these on all over the state of Texas. He's done many, and he's doing it right in our backyard here in the Woodlands at Grace Woodlands this Thursday and Friday at 7 p.m. And so we're really excited about that. And
I'm registered.
Yeah, come on out.
As am I.
Yeah,
All right.
I'll be there, and I'll MC the event, so it'll be fun.
So tell me about Kevin Brady. What are some of the things that he's been working on?
He's working on quite a lot, actually. Of course, you know that tax reform has happened, and it's been very monumental and effective in our country. What we've seen is that, the Congressional Budget Office, they predicted that it would worsen our economy. And in fact, that they said that it would, the problem would be that the deficit would increase and we wouldn't be able to pay for the tax cuts. But they didn't account for all the growth that would happen, because our GDP has grown from a staggering 2% under President Obama to 4% under President Trump. And Congressman Brady, of course, carried out the vision of President Trump. I mean, he's chairman on the Ways and Means Committee.
Which
and
is a
so
very powerful position.
It's a very powerful committee.
Yes.
And he got it passed through his committee. And then it went to the House, and they passed on the House floor, and then the Senate passed their version of the bill, and then they hashed out the differences. And President Trump signed it into law. And since then, like I said, the GDP is above 4%, and then we have unemployment rate below 4%. It used to be we didn't have
It's the
enough.
best it's been.
Yeah, we used to. There wasn't enough jobs, or there wasn't enough workers for the jobs. No, I'm sorry, there wasn't enough jobs for the workers. Now
Correct.
it's just the opposite.
Which is unemployment.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. And now they're asking where are all the workers?
Right.
Because there's so many jobs where there just aren't workers for them, and so we're excited about that. And companies like Apple and Exxon, they're able to produce here in America. And companies are moving back
And we want
from
that.
overseas.
We want the work to stay here in the United States.
Right. And where they were having to outsource before, they're
Right.
moving back to America to produce right here in America. That's exciting. And so Congressman Brady is all about making lives of everyday people better, not just on Wall Street, not just the big corporations, but the small business owners. As you know, he started out as president of the Chamber of Commerce right
That's
here in the
correct.
Woodlands. And so he's excited about
And his
small
family
business
still lives
owners.
here.
Right. Right. And he never moved to Washington. He stayed here in the Woodlands, and he comes back every weekend to kiss his sweet wife and his 2 children that he adopted. Just a great human being. And so I really appreciate the hard work of Kevin Brady. And I'll also say that he's working on tax reform 2.0 to make.
That's what I wanted to ask you about. So that's the newest project.
Yes.
Okay.
To make the tax cuts permanent. And so he is working in Congress right now to get this done. And
so tell me about 2.0, tax reform 2.0.
well, that's the biggest component. I mean, they want to cut down the size and scope of the IRS, but the biggest component is making the tax cuts permanent. And what does that mean? Well, eventually the tax cuts are going to run out. There's a deadline, there's a timeline, and eventually it's going to run out. But until Democrats take power and until they're able to, whip up the votes to overturn the tax cuts, then they wouldn't be able to if the tax cuts are made permanent. And so that is the biggest focus of this endeavor.
So making it more permanent. So in the end, that will help with entrepreneurship, and it will help families, because isn't there also a component about a savings account?
Right. And one thing I wanted to say about the IRS, they targeted a lot of conservative groups.
Oh, yeah.
And so they targeted a lot of conservative groups throughout the years. And so it's important that we do everything that we can to make sure that never happens again in this country, because that was unacceptable. And they can't be the bully for a President Obama or a future Democrat president to just do whatever they want and intimidate conservatives. And so we're going to make sure that stuff like that doesn't happen again. And we're going to simplify, this process of doing tax returns. And that's what we're trying to do each and every day. And I know Congressman Brady, he loves his job, and he's excited about getting that done.
He is very passionate about it.
I'll also say that we need to keep the House in November. And so regardless of who you supported in the primary, he's really excited about helping Congressman Hurd in San Antonio, Congressman Pete Sessions in Dallas, and Congressman Culberson in Houston. Those are some of the most vulnerable Texas congressmen, and we need to win in November. And so Congressman Brady didn't have a primary, and so he used all of the money that he saved there to allocate his resources throughout the country. And he's allocated millions of dollars to making sure that we keep the House in November. And he's really wanting to do this not just because they want to keep power, but they want to do it for the people. And they have dreams of doing not just tax reform, but welfare reform, and finally getting the health care reform done that we desperately need in this country, because we need to
Healthcare, what's that?
Yeah, right. I mean, we need to increase competition across state lines. The private market needs to be booming again, and the regulations that were placed under Obamacare on these companies, where they had to maybe move out of the state or just shut down altogether, that they were in, that's not acceptable. We need to make sure that we increase competition across state lines, and that the private market can be competitive again. And I think these are big, important parts of his legacy. I mean, the biggest thing he's done is the tax cuts, and I think he'll go down as probably one of the best Ways and Means chairman in history. But if he were able to get welfare reform done and health care reform done, he's excited about that, and he wants to make sure that there are procedures to get benefits, and it's not that we want to just pull the rug from underneath the poor. That's what the left will try to argue. But in fact, we want to empower people with jobs, and we want those people to enjoy the purpose behind going out and sweating for a living.
Well, it's giving more opportunities for both families and
working
businesses,
every day.
Actually.
People to have opportunities. That's exactly what it is, Marcia.
How long has Congressman Brady been in office?
For some time now, and he's worked really hard.
Sometime.
Every single day. Yeah.
Over a couple of years.
Yeah.
Over 4
years. I think it's probably going on 2 decades now. So,
it's been quite
and
a
he's
while.
worked his way up, through the House, and you don't get to that point being in Congress, being a neophyte or a novice.
It's about leadership too.
Right. But you learn things while
you're
you're
be a leader unless you have people behind you and you're influencing decisions and things like that.
But there are some things, just like you work your way up in the military,
Right.
an infantryman doesn't go in and make the decisions that the general makes.
You have to earn it.
The way that I talk about it is Congressman Brady's a general in the military, and he's worked his way up. He's worked his way up, and he knows the system, and he's worked with a lot of people to get things done, and that's why he's so effective at what he does. And so a neophyte couldn't have come in there and just done what he did. And so I'm so glad that he was in the position that he was in, because God used him to get those tax cuts done.
He's personable.
He's definitely the right guy at the right time in the right place. There's no doubt about it. I like Christian's passion in talking about this, too.
He is excited, and I was just about to ask him, so do you love your job, Christian?
I do. And I'm
Do you
blessed.
walk the walk?
Yes, I'm blessed to get to work for Congressman Brady, and I've worked for a couple of great men. I've worked for Governor Abbott and Senator Cruz, but I especially love Congressman Brady because he works so hard at what he does, and he believes in what he is doing. And
well, it also seems to me that it's a lot about faith too.
Yeah.
I mean, the both of you put God and family first.
Yeah.
From what I can see, and the way that you present yourself, and the way he presents himself.
Well, and Congressman Brady, before I ever got involved in this campaign in 2016, I came on in August of 2016. But he's been involved in a Bible study for many years in Congress, and it's what's kept him grounded. And he, with other legislators, know that, Washington can change you, and it's important to have some things that keep you grounded, because what do they say about the quote about power? They say power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Is that the quote, John?
Something like
that. Well, it's important to keep God first, and I feel like he always has. And another thing that he's been doing for many years before I got here, he would go down to the Planned Parenthood and pray for 40 Days for Life. And so he was very passionate about doing that from the get-go. And when I came on the campaign, of course, my dad's a pastor, and I have a background of traveling with the country with Rafael Cruz, another pastor who's really influenced my life and is like a second dad. I basically have two great dads that have been involved in ministry, and so it's in me. And
well, it's important to have those mentors.
Right. And so Congressman Brady tasked me with putting together a pastors coalition, and we have some 200 pastors here in Montgomery County.
Are they all still involved in Faith Fest? Is that still happening, coming down the road
Faith
here?
Fest is going on in November,
okay.
And that is something Jody Chakowski puts
right.
together, and we were working together with them last year.
I helped him with that too last year.
This event, yeah. Thank you for doing that, Margie. But we're still great friends, strong. And we're working together and supportive, but not the focus for Congressman Brady this year. He's done 3 prayer breakfasts, and John, who's a part of, he puts on the Christian Business Network.
Lone Star Christian Chamber of Commerce. Yeah.
Yes. And
another egg or another broken egg?
Another broken egg every Wednesday morning, 7:30 a.m. Everybody's welcome.
Plug.
Yeah, he's been one of our Christian leaders that has been a part of our pastor's prayer breakfast and faith leaders prayer breakfast, actually. And we have some 200 pastors and faith leaders that are part of our community. And so if you have any pastors or faith leaders that are part of your program that would like to be a part, we basically have done them this year quarterly. So we're going to have another one coming up, hopefully right before early voting. And John will talk about that. October 22nd, we want to have it before early voting to get people excited, to get them out to vote. Our last one, we had the president of KSBJ. We had James Dickey, the Republican Party chairman. We had another guy I've been working with, Dan Crenshaw.
Reed Ryan?
Yes, and we had Reed Ryan, Houston Astros president, speak, and it was just a very awesome dinner or lunch or breakfast. It was a breakfast, and it was just a great program. So
you remember the people.
I remember the people.
It's not about the time; it's the energy that was created.
There was a lot of energy.
It's powerful to have those leaders in the room all praying together, singing praise and worship together. People who don't necessarily always get along politically come together.
That's important.
In the name of Christ, and we all just sort of unite there. It's an amazing experience. Thank you for putting that on.
Yes.
So let's follow up with the task list. So this Thursday, you have an event, and
Christian
people can
Values
still
Summit.
come to that.
Well, we're closed for now, but I just want to remind the people that are registered, please come. We're going to do another one next year. We're going to probably do it somewhere in Houston. We want to have 5,000 people We're probably going to have Ben Shapiro and Phil Robertson. So I'm going to be working with that next year. And that one will be open to everybody, and we'll have a lot more opportunity for people to come. But we've already maxed out at 1,000 this time.
Okay, so we'll hear about that. But then the other important thing is the barbecue fundraiser, Blues and BBQ.
Yeah.
So again, that date is
September 24th.
That's a Monday or a Tuesday?
That is a Monday from 5:30 till 7:30.
Dosey Does.
Dosey Does. Uh-huh.
I think it's important to ask, does that barbecue fundraiser cost any kind of admission? Do you need tickets?
$15 for a ticket for just general admission. It'll be exciting. And so we'll hope that you be
Packed
there.
house.
Yeah.
So you can go to Brady for Congress, right? BradyForCongress.com, and then you'll see a tab. It's on the front page. It's on the home page, in your face, Blues BBQ 2018.
Yeah.
Go to that, find out more about it, and get connected.
Yeah, and I just want to remind people, this is the last time to vote straight ticket. So vote straight ticket all the way down the ballot, and whoever you supported in the primary, let's come together, unite, and support all of our candidates in the general. And I want to see that all throughout Montgomery County, especially because there's still some division. I want to see people come together. I also want to say that we need to pray for our president because he is fighting for us like we've never seen. We've never seen a Republican president fight for the people, the grassroots.
Under so much scrutiny. Oh, my
and under
goodness.
so much scrutiny, he just keeps fighting. And I love that about our president. So I want to encourage everyone to continue to pray for our president. Let's be vocal on social media and the radio programs and everywhere that we can be about supporting our president and letting our friends know that it's okay to support our president. It's okay to be a Christian. It's okay to be a conservative. And it's okay to be a Trump supporter. In spite of what Nike says, in spite of what anyone may say, we're going to support our president. And we're going to stand for our country.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we are going to take a little break and then roll on to John Boucher, who's going to talk a little bit more about politics in Montgomery County. Be right back.
Roger Stein Chiropractic has offered spine and joint manipulation services to residents of Montgomery County and surrounding areas. Conditions treated include lower back pain, migraines, headaches, whiplash, carpal tunnel, neck pain, sciatica, joint pain, sports injuries, herniated discs, and complications from pregnancy. Roger Stein Chiropractic, led by Dr. Stacy Rogers and Dr. Brian McGee, is an integrity-verified chiropractic clinic. Call 936-441-9990 for an appointment or visit rogerssteinchiropractic.com. That's RODGERSSTEIN chiropractic.com.
Did you know that there are over 153 million orphans in the world today? The sad reality is 99% of those kids will likely never be adopted. Core Love is an organization right here in Conroe that takes care of orphan children in Haiti, Honduras, and India. We bring the love of Jesus by providing their 6 basic needs of clean water, proper food, healthcare, education, job skills, and a loving home. Visit corelove.org. That's CORELUV.org. Will you help defend the orphan?
Hispanic Chamber Connections with Dr. Carlos Sanchez, President of the Woodlands Conroe Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, featuring event announcements, member highlights, and more. Tuesdays at 1 p.m., broadcasting from the heart of Conroe, Texas on irlonestar.com and Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1.
A Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show, with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776 to take your first step into the radio world.
And we are back again. And as a reminder, this show is sponsored by Roger Stein Chiropractic, and you can go there for all your needs, starting with prenatal care to newborns to as the children get older, for health exams, and just to stay fit, feel good, stay healthy, and live way beyond 100 years old. That's Roger Stein Chiropractic on Highway 105, 3303 West Davis on 105. So I am your host, Margie Taylor, and on this September 10th, the month is just rolling along, rolling.
Quickly, yeah.
We're waiting for that fall feeling to come in, that cooler weather, because we usually get a dip of it for a day or two in September, and we get all excited, put on our boots, and then it changes back. So we're waiting anxiously for that. But the second guest today is John Boucher, and he's involved in many things. But today we're going to talk about the Republican Party, early voting, Election Day, and you're also running for a position. Is that correct?
I am running for the Lone Star Groundwater Conservation District Board, position 3. That's James Nowak's area.
And the voting is also November 6th?
That's correct.
So there's a lot of things to vote for coming up November 6th.
Yeah, and this is a great segue after Christian's part. I mean, he mentioned sort of the divisive nature of Montgomery County politics within the Republican Party. But if we all step back, we can come together, because if you don't necessarily love who you're voting for, you better think about who you're voting against. That's a real important thing here right now. So we have 56 days until Election Day. We have a lot of work to do. I was shocked to find out that as blessed as Texas is, and we are very blessed. I mean, if you think about this state, it's just amazing.
Fabulous.
When I go to Europe and I tell people I'm from Texas, they go, "Oh, that's a whole different country." You know?
It is. It always has been.
So I absolutely love Texas. But did you know that we were ranked the 5th from the bottom in voter participation? So even though we are so blessed, we many of us can't get up off the couch to go vote on Election Day.
And why is that, you think?
I think it's complacency. I do. I think people just look at Texas and think Texas is red, it's going to stay red, and we're going to be okay. But if you look at the history of elections, in 2004, 61% of the vote was Republican in the presidential race. And then in 2008, it dropped to 55%. And then it went to 57% in 2012 and to 52.8% in 2016. So we're losing 4 basis points per interval because of what I think is just complacency. If we do that again, we're Colorado. We're turning blue. So it's not a given. Even if you look at Montgomery County, we're better than most. We have about 65% participation on election years, on presidential election years in participation. But you know what it is in an off year? 37%.
And, I just don't understand that. I know that the people that run for different campaigns devote a lot of time. And you've been there yourself as a precinct chair, right?
Yes.
And you're out there walking, knocking on doors, going to events, trying to get people educated, because I think it's very important that they're educated before they go vote. So they know what they're voting on. They know what the issues are. And instead of just going on social media and talking bad about things, make a difference. The social media is not going to change things. What's going to change is you voting.
That's correct.
Right?
And getting people involved and engaging the community, knocking on doors. No matter what they do, there's nothing more effective than going and knocking on doors and meeting people.
Right.
And
it's the
engaging
interaction, one-on-one.
Yeah. So we're trying to do some of that right now out in the community. The Democrats are way ahead of the game right now. They're out there knocking doors. Have you got your veto text this week? Because there's a lot of those going around.
I've had texts of that, yes.
So let me talk about what we're doing with the Montgomery County Republican Party right now, trying to energize the vote, trying to modernize the party, and trying to bring the party together, really. We've been doing a lot. We have a new website, mcgop.online, where there's a lot of information. If you're not registered to vote, the last day to register to vote is November 6th.
October 9th?
October 9th, sorry,
Yes.
for the November 6th election. That's correct. So we got to get that done. The last day to apply for a ballot by mail would be October 26th. So like I said, we're 56 days out. We have started doing some of the auto texting ourselves here, identifying Republican voters through the Advantage app, people that are most likely to vote Republican. So it's not just an annoyingly random text that comes out like the veto text. These are targeted towards voters just as a gentle nudge to say, make sure you register and you actually show up to go vote. So that's what we're trying to do there. We have our new website with a lot of information about
It's very nice. It's it's easy to navigate and find information. And there's a lot of things on the calendar as well that you can get involved in and get educated on the candidates.
I see you have one of our push cards from the Victory 2018 committee
I pulled this off. So let's talk about it.
Sure.
So there's, starting with Dan Patrick, there's a lot of people that are up for re-election. Dan Patrick, Ken Paxton, George P. Bush, Sid Miller, Glenn Heger. Did I say that right? We have Texas Railroad Commissioner Christie and Steve Toth is not up for re-election. And then Charlie Riley's up for re-election in Precinct 2. And then we have candidates that are local to our county: Steve Toth, Mark Keogh, Melanie Bush, and Melissa Miller. Mm-hmm. Who am I missing? I get everybody?
Yeah, there's a few that are not on there. Kevin Brady's not on there. He's
correct.
up. Ted Cruz and Joe Nichols. Nichols was not on there. But that's because of the regulations with the federal regulations with the push cards. We couldn't get those on there. But Dale Inman is actually the guy running the Victory 2018 campaign. He's doing an amazing job. But what people really need to be worried about are 9 candidates that are not listed on there. And they are Democrats that filed to run in December. And why did they file to run? Well, we mentioned the low voter turnout. 2 election cycles ago, Republicans outnumbered Democrats showing up at the polls 4-1. The last cycle, it was 3-1. So if you're only having 30% of the vote show up, you see the problem?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So in June, we took steps to sort of reconfigure the local Montgomery County Republican Party to address these things, to really modernize the party with some of the things I talked about with the auto texting, the update on the social media and those things. We also made it to where we're more inclusive. We get more people involved because they are elected by the county executive committee and not just appointed by one person to certain positions. We wanted to make sure they had the skill set and the desire to do the job, not just be in the good graces of one person and have a title conferred upon them. So
work together in committees.
Exactly. So we've been doing a lot more of that to bring the party together and to get out there and get the vote out. Because, I've heard somebody say, well, what happened on June 26th is going to affect the election and gives Democrats an advantage. I'm like, well, actually what we did on June 26th and rewriting the bylaws is because of the situation with the Democrats, with how energized they are. We don't have time traveling Democrats. They didn't see what happened in June and go all the way back to December and file the vote. So that's what we're trying to do. We see what's happening. We saw what happened in Colorado. We saw that they were red until they went blue. And we're also in denial about this. We're red. We're Texas. We're going to stay red. Well, I just gave you the numbers. That's not necessarily the case. We have to stay vigilant. We have to stay energized. And as I said at the top of this, if you're not even wild about the person you're voting for, you better think about what you're voting against right now.
So what can people do to get involved?
Well, you can contact us through MCGOP Online. There's a newsletter there. You can reach out to through that website to contact us if you want to be involved. We want everybody involved. We have committees for everything to work with the precinct chairs. One of the things we started doing recently that has not been done before is we are coordinating precinct chairs in certain geographical areas for certain candidates where they're campaigning. And we're coordinating with their campaigns right now. So we're not overlapping, doing redundant work. We would like to get to a place where the Republican Party in Montgomery County is supporting the candidates and the candidates aren't supporting the party as it has been. That's what we're trying to push this to right now.
So working smarter together.
Yes, ma'am. That's what we're trying to do. I know that's a crazy idea.
I know. I'm all for it. It's a lot of work to walk the streets and get out there and get people to vote. I know. Every campaign, I'm out there doing that, helping different people.
It is a lot of work, and not to get too far in the weeds with this, but Thomas Sowell had a quote, the great economist Thomas Sowell. He said, when you're accustomed to special treatment, equal treatment feels like discrimination. And we get some pushback from some of the old guard. It's just the way they've been used to doing things here.
Change is never easy.
Yeah, so it's not. But we do go into this with a pure heart and with what we're showing you, our reasoning for and why we're doing that. So we've been very objective about that. And we're going to continue doing that because it's too important to the people of Montgomery County to not do that. Well, we have 4.9% voter turnout at the last Conroe City Council election. That's frightening. It's frightening.
It's horrible. I mean, with a county this big that is constantly growing, what's our population? Like 560,000?
571,000 right now, which was up 25% since 2010. So it's growing rapidly. Mm-hmm. and 377,000 of that are voting age. Our largest voting demographic is a 45 to 64. So we need to find a way to get to those
Young
lower
people.
it to the younger people right now.
Those 18 to 40 to get out there and vote.
Yes, that's correct.
What do you suggest?
Well, I mean, the social media is a big deal. That's where a lot of them
Get
are
it
right
now
now.
information.
Yeah, the Twitter, the Instagram. They live in a microwave
Snapchat.
society. Yeah, they do. They live in a microwave society. People are impatient if their Pop-Tart takes 40
Well,
seconds
they're just
in
used
in
to
a
it. That's
microwave.
all they're accustomed to. It's not a bad thing. It's just how
No.
they've been given information.
That's right. So we need to connect with them where they are, essentially. And, in the schools and those sorts of things. We can't just give up the ground of the schools like we have for so long. We need to be in there. There are young Republican clubs popping up in the schools now, which is very inspiring to me, which is very encouraging.
Do they have young Republican groups in all the high schools?
I don't think so, but that's something we're going to be working on. One of our precinct chairs, a young man named Adrian Kaiser, was actually talking about that. He's 21 years old,
He's
very
active.
enthusiastic.
Yep.
Really like Adrian a lot, and we think he's going to do very well in sort of getting these things in place around. That's one of the initiatives we also have.
It's all about the education starting early, because then they would be probably excited to help in different campaigns as well with feet on the ground. So sitting next to me here is Chris.
Greetings.
Hey, the quiet person sitting next to me. So I know that you're excited about getting involved in the Republican Party as well, especially with some of the new committees and things that are going on.
You're absolutely right. In fact, I think that there's a tremendous opportunity in Montgomery County for growth in the party, not just in terms of numbers of voters, but in terms of numbers of turnout and our message. We don't have as big of a platform as we could have in terms of getting out the conservative values. We could learn a lesson from the Democrats in that area. I'm not trying to be controversial there, but I'll take myself personally. I used to get texts all the time from Vote for Beto. I don't know where they got my number. I'd like to know, but I finally had to punch back and tell them to get laws. We could really learn a lesson from that. I perhaps not be as forceful, but in terms of contacting people, get out the message, walk the streets, a tremendous growth could happen in that area, and I want to be a part of it.
So if somebody were interested in getting involved, volunteering at one of the committees, I think there's a lot of committees.
There's a lot of
7, 8,
committees.
9 committees. There's different things depending on where you're so moved to get involved with. They can go to the website to find out more information, to contact us, I'm assuming.
Absolutely. You can go to mcgop.online, and there's also the committees listed with all the personnel within those committees. So you can actually contact us through the website and say, I'm interested in being on this committee, and we'll connect you directly with the chairman of that committee. We want everybody involved. We want all hands on deck. The time for infighting amongst Republicans is past. We can't do that. The primary's over. You can fight for your candidate during the primary all you want, but it's a general election now, and it's important that we get people in place. And again, we got to vote against the worst things that are out there, and they're out there.
So you have a leadership role in the Republican Party. Tell me about that.
I'm part of the steering committee. There's 9 people on the steering committee. If you think of a board of directors, CEO type situation, that's kind of how it works. This is not an uncommon thing across the state. There are other county executive committees that use this model. And yes, we get together and we're a think tank, because like one of our attorneys in our leadership is a guy named Daniel Ure. And he says, one of us is not anywhere near as smart as all of us. So we kind of take that together, where we all work together to make good decisions for the party to go forward. So we're excited where we're going right now. And we do have a big election. Like I said, we got 9 Democrats on the ballot. I'm starting to see some veto signs out there. We do need candidate support. We need donations. I mean, money is the lifeblood of politics. And you can donate to the Victory 2018 campaign, which is directly towards the candidates. That you can do that at mcgop.online. So we would like to see you. There's a lot of great information. You can get in touch with me through that website as well. Bill Brenza runs our website, and he does an amazing job. So we have teams together that are doing these things
Using the skill using the skill sets that people have that they're genuinely passionate about.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what's the next step? What's the next meeting? What's the next event where people can connect?
I'm not sure about that right now because we just had our August 23rd deal out of Lone Star. You were there for that, I believe, where we all the candidates got together. Again, there's
out in Montgomery.
Yes, there's a culture of all these campaigns operating independently, and we're trying to get some synergy with that. So we're going to have to see who's got what planned going forward and try and work with them so we can maximize their resources and their efforts to get people there and sort of bring some more people in there. So again, these events will be on mcgop.online.
Yeah, so just go to
I'm
the
not in front of that
calendar
right now, so I can't tell you.
And look and see. Well, we're going to have to end this, so I'll have time to get Bill coming on here talking about the Family Promise bed races. But again, you can go to that website and find out more information, and you can hear this again as we share this again on Conroe Culture News via YouTube.
Thank you for having me on today.
John. And we're going to take a quick break, and this is sponsored by Roger Stein Chiropractic.
Who like your partners, your gumbo, and your music salty, well, we're here to help with the music. Julian Shea here, host of Lone Star Country Nights Thursday, your weekly dose of roots and Americana and all the music that makes this part of the country special. We stir in Western swing, honky-tonk, Zydeco, Texas blues, outlaw country, and put a pinch of red dirt, and then we smoke it over a slow fire. Then listen to the results Thursday nights on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 and worldwide at irlonestar.com.
Did you know there are more than 790 abused and neglected children currently in foster care in Montgomery County? Will you help make a difference? I'm Allie Stevens with Casa Child Advocates of Montgomery County. We train and support volunteers to be the voice of children in the foster care system. Kids removed from their home because of abuse and neglect. And we need volunteers just like you to advocate for these children. To learn more about becoming an advocate, please visit CasaSpeaksForKids.com. That's CasaSpeaksForKids.com.
Since 2004, Roger Stein Chiropractic has offered spine and joint manipulation services to residents of Montgomery County and surrounding areas. Conditions treated include lower back pain, migraines, headaches, whiplash, carpal tunnel, neck pain, sciatica, joint pain, sports injuries, herniated discs, and complications from pregnancy. Roger Stein Chiropractic, led by Dr. Stacy Rogers and Dr. Brian McGee, is an integrity-verified chiropractic clinic. Call 936-441-9990 for an appointment or visit rogerssteinchiropractic.com. That's RODGERSSTEIN chiropractic.com.
Don't miss Lone Star Community Radio on TV and YouTube. Our talk show and music shows are featured on Our City TV, Suddenlink Channel 12, and have their own YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to keep up with posted shows and comment on them below the video.
And we are back for our last segment of the show on this Monday, September 10th. I welcome Bill Muldoon to talk to us about Family Promise bed races.
Yeah.
Family Promise is an organization, a nonprofit organization, national organization, as a matter of fact, that serves homeless families, 4 or 5 at a time, with children.
Correct.
They go to the day center during the day to work on their goals or work or school, and then they partner with church groups in the community where they spend a week at a time starting Sunday at noon through the following Sunday. Different churches in our community, they take turns for a week at a time.
That's right.
And the churches offer dinner and a quick breakfast in the morning, and then they're off to complete their goals or go to work or whatever they need to do, correct?
That's correct. And it's actually serving Montgomery County. So it's not Conroe, it's the whole Montgomery County aspect of things. So, and we do serve that for the whole county area. And what we're doing today is to talk about our bed race that we have coming up, which we're really excited about. It's very unique to the county, and kind kind of different. Montgomery, I mean, we've done this with Family Promise around the country, and there's been in different areas. But in essence, what we're going to do is we're going to race some beds down the street here in Conroe, Texas on October 6th.
Why not?
Yeah, why not? Exactly. And ironically, I have to say, I had fun putting our prototype together to give this a shot to see what this would be like. And what it does is that we consist of teams of 5. We have 4 pushers with 1 person on a bed. And we're going to be over here at Heritage Park. We're going to check in teams at 7 o'clock in the morning. We're going to have 4 different categories. We'll have a youth division. They'll be from 12 to 18-year-olds. So we have actually students from schools and church groups that are competing. We have an adult division, which is 18-year-olds to plus. So that's for all of us people as well. We have businesses that are actually competing as well, which is kind of unique. And then we also have government agencies. So I encourage those in law enforcement or other types of
For the
government.
city of Conroe,
Absolutely.
Montgomery County.
You bet. Woodlands environment, fire departments, those type of
anything.
things that are involved that are doing that. And then what we'll do is we'll have timed events to see who's got the fastest time per category. We'll have best overall themes. So those who put together different themes around the bed. And then we'll also have best design and engineered. So I know a couple engineering architect firms that are also already competing against in the firms. People's choice. So we want people to come out and really come out and support their teams, which is kind of exciting about it as well too. And then highest fundraising, because this is not all about just the racing, but it's about fundraising for Montgomery County
Family Promise.
and Family Promise aspect of things. So the money actually goes right to supporting these families here in Montgomery County. So that's kind of exciting.
It's a fun event, October 6th.
Correct.
And it's in downtown Conroe, over by the Conroe Chamber of Commerce and Heritage Park. So there's a very short street over there.
Right.
Newton?
Yes,
Newton
that's right.
Street. And so they will start at 105 in Newton and end when they get to Heritage Park. Although Heritage Park is where they're going to be staged. And
That's
all
correct.
the beds are going to be hanging out in their category.
That's right.
Waiting for the race director
That's right.
to summon them on with volunteers. And we do need volunteers as well.
That's correct. So actually, I got to put a plug in it. So familypromiseofmc.org is our website. We actually have up on that website where you can donate, or you can actually get your teams established. And our closing for those teams is October 1st. That's Monday. So please do that. The race is on October 6th. We're having a tremendous amount of people that are signing up, and I really want to make sure our teams get in there. So get those in there as quick as you possibly can. I was just checking this morning. We're getting a lot of folks in there. So if you haven't got a team, you didn't know about it, this is a perfect time to do it. Go check us out. familypromiseofmc.org is our website. Lots of information up there. If you're unable to make it with a team, throw up a donation to support some teams that are up there. That'd be fantastic. So
It's fun. It's not complicated. It's fun. And we're going to have a hot dog vendor out there, and we're going to have Carmelita's breakfast tacos.
got some air coverage.
Oh, and is what?
We got some radio coverage.
Yes. So we have Air One, and they are 103.7. They're going to come out there. They've already been doing a few spots, as well as this station here is doing a PSA, I believe. So it's all about the bed races. And, I mean, you can even Google it, bed races.
Absolutely.
And get some ideas of other bed races that have taken place. Some of them are at colleges. I know they do it out in Galveston for Dickens on the Strand.
That's
so you can
correct.
get some great ideas, and you just have fun with it. It's not complicated. Just put 4 wheels on a mattress of any size.
That's correct.
The creativity is up to you.
Yeah.
We're
now-
not telling you how to do it, right?
No, that's great. And as an engineer, I had difficulty because I tried to make it too precise.
Don't say that. Don't say that. But if we get someone who would like to be the premier sponsor, the presenting sponsor, we will throw in a bed already made.
Absolutely. It's probably one of the most custom-made beds you'll ever have.
It's tailored.
It's tailored. No pun intended.
Of course it is. So what do you think, Chris?
What do you think,
want to do
Chris?
it?
This sounds incredible. Let me ask you a question. Do you have any returning champs that have won it like 2 or 3 years in a row?
It's the first time.
Oh, this is the first
This
time.
is the premier bed race.
For Montgomery County.
Yes.
So this is the first time for Montgomery County. And actually, I see a lot of these dragon boat folks down in the Woodlands are really they're moving on up. They want to try to move over to bed race and see what it's all about.
So it sounds like there's going to be some competition straight out of the chute, right?
I'm telling you right now, there is. And so, one of the things is it's, and this is a fastest, who's got the fastest race? That's per the category. So that's one of the things that's important. So, it's how you get your wheels greased down a little bit, how this all works out. It's going to be kind of interesting. I'll give you a little secret. Harbor Freight has some great pneumatic wheels out there. There's some folks that I just throwing some things out there. There's some places that get some great bicycle parts you can get. There's a lot of neat things.
There's a bicycle shop right in here?
I know, right next door. There's a lot of folks. So there's all kinds of great things you can do to speed up your beds out there. So I'll leave it to the folks to do it. But the cool thing is it's not just only who can do it faster, but it's how the theme of your bed. And, since it's in that time frame of October, it's that perfect time where the weather's great for us. And we're going to have a great celebration of this. And the great thing is that we're helping. This is a bed theme. This is beds for families with children in Montgomery County. And we're supporting the whole county. And that's what's cool. So this isn't just something that you're doing a golf tournament or something like that.
It's homeless families with children.
Absolutely. And that's what's really unique about this. So.
Well, I'm already thinking of ideas right now, so this sounds like a really great event.
Okay, so they can call you for ideas or help, right?
Sure.
Is that correct?
No Bed of Roses. That sounds like my...
Exactly. There's the theme right there.
That's it.
Exactly. And so we've seen, and I tell you, go out on the website, take a look, but Google it. There's so many things. We've seen low riding. We've seen high stock. You don't have the room in here. I would have brought ours in, but it's a queen size one, but it could be a twin. It can be, as long as it's got 4 wheels out there minimum. You could do some other things out there, but there's some really neat designs.
It doesn't have to have a steering wheel or any of that, right?
No, just 4 pushers and one person has to ride on the bed.
Okay.
So and
all the way to the end.
All the way to the end.
It's not that far. How far? How big is that street?
Maybe 50 yards, 60 yards. We're not talking far distance.
And it's not in heats.
No.
It's time. Period.
Just a single time. So just because you ran at 9:30 doesn't mean that you stick around. You could actually win around. Just because you didn't win that heat. Overall you may win that heat, but somebody later on down the road might have a faster bed. So
okay, so this is going to get it might get intense.
It's going to get interesting. Let's just put it that way. So there's this is going to be fun, and we're excited about it because this is not just a one-time shot. This is something that Family Promise will continue on. We're excited about it. And it's something we'll be sponsoring going forward because it's very unique to the Conroe, Montgomery County area.
Something different.
Absolutely. That's why we're excited about it.
At least tell me that somebody gets a trophy at the end of the
day.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thanks. Multiple trophies, not singular.
Bragging rights for the fastest bed.
You bet.
That's how it rolls.
You bet.
Literally.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of Boy Scouts. Didn't they do those little car races?
Oh, yes. Pinewood Derbies.
Pinewood Derbies, yes. And tricks and to make it faster and all that. Legit.
Oh, yes. Many years of doing this. So.
Okay, that's all for today. So I'm Margie Taylor, and this will be posted on Conroe Culture News later on today. And irlonestar.com, Lone Star Community Radio, downtown Conroe. Thank you. Have a great day.